Good morning, everybody. Yes, it's a beautiful morning to talk about Turkey. Time to Strike, episode 4. Now, guys, I want to take a moment to say this before I do talk about this big old exposition shot. These last several days, I was in Atlantic City. Didn't get a chance to catch up on my anime, but I'm trying, guys, to catch up. As you can see, my videos I posted, Rising Shoe, Hero I covered, Rent a Girlfriend. I still haven't covered a Yuri anime yet, and I've seen it. I just haven't got time for that yet. So, and My Dress Up Darling comes out later tomorrow, I believe. So, you're probably gonna get My Dress Up Darling probably the same day I do a review of the Yuri anime. Because of work, I won't even have time. But I will try to do whatever I can for you guys to like my videos and support it along the way. You know, when you work and doing videos, even before or after work, is very stressful for me. So I want to make sure we're on the same page. But let's talk about Turkey. You know, this episode of Turkey dedicated to one person and one person only, Rina. From the beginning of Turkey, I hated her since day one. Day one! I hated her so much that she doesn't even care about the bowling club. Never cared. And it's one of those characters where you're like, you know what? We can't hate the character yet. We gotta give us a backstory as to what make Rina who she is. We gotta give it an episode. Now, there's a certain person who name I don't know, who name I should not know, took 16 years. But this person right here, 4 episodes in, and this is where my brain tumbled when I said, what the heck is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? And I understand the whole YouTube censorship, so I'm trying to keep it on a low profile here. Rina, what the? What? What? I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it, guys. Let me tell you this. I woke up this morning thinking about what to say. Thinking about what to say to you guys before I go to work. But after watching this episode last night, I couldn't fabricate on what the heck just happened. Now I feel like it's like if we were to watch First Take, it's like a whole debate thing. Like, should we forgive or not forgive Rina? This is the moment to say this. But I'm going to get, after that cliffhanger last week, I feel like Turkey needs to be appreciated more. I realize that Turkey needs to be appreciated more because this is the bowling anime. And I get it. It's not as hype as all the other animes out there of the world of sports anime. I get it. But for the original anime like this, you got to give it a chance. Also, guys, I'm playing a Haikyuu app, by the way. I'm just saying. Even though Haikyuu is not my favorite, Sune is number one. But still, I rest my case when it comes to Turkey. So without further ado, let's get right to it with Turkey. Time to Strike, episode 4. Okay. Now, after last week, with Sumomo knows the whole effing truth when it comes to the whole traveling thing. She knows everything about what happened, what transpired. Like, oh, we know you're from the future because there was a time traveler guy. There was a traveler guy who went from the set, who went there, took Anzu's sister, and the whole traveling thing came up to fruition to a point where, wait a minute, she's like, oh yeah, didn't you guys have this kind of phone? You have this thing where you slide the boards? Oh yeah, it's a phone. It's like, yeah, I knew it. So she knew that they're from the future because of what a traveler got Anzu's sister. Now I make sense. And I'm looking at Anzu. I'm looking at Anzu, right? And I'm like, what if Anzu and Nozomi, the blonde hair girl, what if Anzu and Nozomi are actually descendants? What if they actually descendants? Because they both got the blonde hair. I got the feeling that they're descendants. I just got a feeling they are. Okay. But here, okay, now, what you're not supposed to do is mess up the past. It's not alter the past because it's going to affect the future. We all know how time traveling animes, we all know how time traveling works. You don't mess up the timeline. If you bring something to the present, everyone look like, oh, what's this? Oh, it's making noise. What's this? It's called a phone. And then you go to the present and gonna mess it up. But that didn't stop. My. My literally decided to get everybody to make bowling pins. She's to make an old bowling alley. That's a bowling alley. Now everyone thought like, oh, she's stupid. Why are we doing this? Why'd you do it? Making these wooden lanes, wooden bowling pins, wooden bowling balls. Like, why would you do that? But Sumomo knows the truth about it. So the cat's out of the bag. Just make something for the past. Just make something that's for the future. So they use actual. So Mai was showing Sumomo how to use bowling, like the rules of bowling. Because if you go back to Shengoku era, it was like, yeah, you play bowling one time, you take turns, but like skee ball. But in skee ball, you go to those parts where you skee ball. You could have the skee ball thrown multiple times. Bowling. She was trying to teach them about the ways of bowling, the rules of bowling, what a strike means, what a turkey means. You get to go bowling twice if there's left pins there. All those things. It's kind of funny, entertaining. Rina on the other side. This is where the debate comes in, guys. Rina was practicing alone. Now, at first, I didn't know what it is about Rina that ticks me off from the beginning. She despised Mai. These two have two polar opposites here. And I love this confrontation that these two have. These two bring together the development of what they were, what got them to the bowling, and what motivate them, and what got to that point of where they at. So, and both of them have their scenarios when it comes to bowling. For Mai, it was about bringing bowling together as a family. Because if you go to look where she does is bowling, she does a prayer. As bowling, professional bowlers, they do a chant, they kiss the ball, or they pray the ball. She's like, bring them home together. What she means is bring all the pins together. That's what symbolizes when she does bowling. She does a chant, and the chant that she says is bring them all home. Meaning bring all the pins home. So when she does a strike, she brings all the pins home. Which gave us to Mai's backstory as she tell her parents, where did the pins go? Where did they go? And as lovable parents saying, oh, they go straight into home. They go home, not into the darkness. They all together. You get the idea. Okay. Now, with Mai, she's all about bringing people together. We are family. Ohana means family, and family means nobody gets left behind. Okay, that's her. Rina's way of bowling is the selfish way, but a lone way. Like, okay, here's the thing. I'm gonna describe Rina's bowling. Mai's bowling is all about technique and bringing it together. Mai is all about power. You see the formality that these two have. So Rina and Mai, and I love it. The thunderstorm, the fire. The thunderstorm was the reenactment of the first episode. So they all know like this is a reenactment. And then Rina and Mai went at it back and forth with this. It's like going back to the first episode, and you see the action pack that it has. Now Rina, here's the thing about Rina's backstory. Let's go right to it. Okay. Rina loved bowling. She loved bowling, and we got to see her parents. When Rina was a little kid, she loved bowling, and we got to see her parents be all that. So basically, Rina had a life. Perfect life. But there's that Resident Evil reference I saw. I don't know if y'all saw the Resident Evil reference, but if you watch that scene where Rina opens the door, that you know how the classic Resident Evil, when they walk into the door and they open, that's how that was. So anyway, when Rina went home, her parents were getting divorced. And that kind of drive her down. Not only her parents got divorced, but her mother got remarried and she felt left alone. And then when she joined the bowling club, she got left alone because the fact that they all years above her. So can you imagine, like, for example, I'll give you an example. Let's say I got into the club. I'm a first year. And I'm the only first year. And there are 4 of them who are 30 years. They're going to leave me behind because I'm the first year. They're the 30 years. We're leaving. You see what I'm saying? That's the thing. So basically, Rina feels left alone. She felt left alone. Because you go back to when her parents got separated. You see that scene where she got remarried, introduced to the stepfather and her 2 siblings, and his 2 siblings, and you see that they don't They don't like her. They do not like Rina, and Rina's feel left out, and she feel left out in the bowling club. So when I look at Rina's perspective, I understand why she's upset, because she feels she's gonna be left alone. So now, and then I like my determination. I stepped up. She said, being useful and being like are totally different things. And then when she said that, the lightning came, and yo, just like that, the ball light up again. Everybody was about to leave, and then here come Rina, was like, you guys go on, I'm staying. Go, I'm staying. She ran off. Now, they all thought that Mai, Sayuri, Nanasi, and Nozomi left. But because Rina left, and she thought that all four of them went back to the present. No. They actually stayed together. They stayed together because you know why? We are family. We stick together no matter what. And in that scene, now, here's the thing. I know people are freaking upset with that decision. For Rina, and you know what? You could bring tears to this. So this was a tear episode right there. This was a tear. That last segment was a tear moment, guys. You got to understand. It was a very tear moment. Mai cares about everybody. She treats the bowling club like family. She treats everybody like family. She don't leave nobody behind. So her decision to, I understand people don't like Mai because that's a stupid decision. But when I understand Rina's decision. But you guys understand, Mai treats everybody like family. Mai keeps everybody intact. She is the reason why the bowling club even existed. And for her to stay down, for her to have everybody to go get Rina, that was the decision. Now, I know everybody's upset with Rina because it's like, Rina, what? This is like a one chance opportunity to go back. You had one chance. Now, I understand from a fan perspective, Rina let out all her emotions to Mai and let her how she feel. And people would have said like, okay, she let out all of her emotions. Okay, let's go back home. But you got to understand, guys, this is episode 4. It's not like it's episode 12 and then we all will be happy. The thing is, that's the thing. It's episode 4. Episode 4. That's the problem. Episode 4. So they're going to stay for a while. They're going to stay. Now, I understand Rina's decision was stupid. Don't get me wrong. It was the stupidest thing. But I get why. I understand why. Now, I understand. Do people forgive Rina? Me personally, I sort of forgive her. Because at least it took one episode to confess all of her feelings early on in this episode. It's not like all the way to episode 12 and then she confessed. No. It took that long. But for her to admit she was wrong and all that stuff, 4 episodes now early in this episode, that makes sense. I can forgive a person like that. Unlike somebody whose name I should not call, took 16 years and 5-6 seasons to admit to apologize. That's some bullshit. But Rina's case, I get where she's coming from. Even though it was a stupid decision, it was there. But overall, though, this episode was by far, after 4 episodes, this episode 4 was by far epic. There was so many emotions here. You can see Mai and Rina's rivalry, the interaction that these two have. You know, one's understanding bowling, that these two people understand bowling in their respective ways, and I love it. And bowling is like one of those things that brings people together. And for Mai and Rina to lash out their feelings and bring them close to them, that's that. But here's the thing. As the episode moves on, we're going to see more about Sayuri's backstory, Nanasi's backstory, and Nozomi's backstory as to why they got into bowling and what's their sad backstory behind those things. We got a shot of Rina's backstory. Now we're going to see more of the other 3. And each of those girls is going to have an episode they own to a point where we're going to see what made them who they are. So, and probably some sad backstories along the way. So thank you for watching my review of Turkey, episode 4 review. Tomorrow, I'm going to cover the Yuri anime. And then the same day, my Dress Up Darling if I have the energy for it. Whereas for sure I'll give it a shot. So thank you for watching.